Hey, Lemon,
Hey, Carl. What can I do for you?
are you ready to do your special run?
What are you talking about?
You said after we reached 50 subscribers you'd do something special?
Well, yeah, of course, but we need to reach 50 subs first. Last I checked, we were at 20-something. We got time. The hell is that? Oh, shit! Well, that's another life lesson to add to the books. Ask the internet to do something, and you all take it as a challenge. Thanks to everyone who subscribed to the channel. Honestly, the rate at which this channel is growing is shocking to me. I'll have to be a bit bolder the next time we make a milestone. Let me think on that for a bit. That said, you guys outdid yourselves and surpassed that 50 sub mark, so I owe you all a special treat. As I hinted at earlier, our next run will be a pacifist run, where we aren't allowed to deal direct damage to any enemy. Is it possible? I don't know. We'll have to find out together, won't we? But that's the next video. We've got a viewer request today, so shout out to Hesiolite for today's run. Can you beat Salt and Sanctuary with only incantations? Technically, Hesiolite asked if I could beat it with incantations and miracles, but I figured we might as well up the ante and just use incantations. We can save miracles for a miracle-only run later. Let's go over the rules. First, we are only allowed to deal damage through the use of incantations. That means no items that cause damage, no weapons, and no flaccid defilement. Second, all other equipment is allowed. This includes rings, armors, charms, etc. And lastly, no cheating or exploits, as per usual. Let's get to mathing. Bring up the build. For this run, we'll be grabbing the Grasping Ring as our starting gift for early game leveling. God, it feels good to know I can actually level this time. Once we get running, we'll be aiming for our usual staples, the Kismet Stone, the Wrapped Link, the Bright Coral Ring, but we'll also be grabbing some of the more magic-based rings as well. The Conduit of Mind will help us by giving us 33% more focus, while the Crystal Mote Ring will reduce our focus cost by 50%. Then we have the Storm Ring, which will give us a 50% boost in damage at the cost of potentially killing ourselves every time we cast a spell, but I'm pretty confident that it's worth the risk. As for charms, I wouldn't waste your time. I'm fairly certain that 95% of them don't do anything for this run, and the only one you might want to consider is the Saber Charm, since it regenerates your focus. Let's move on to gear. For armor, I only have two pieces in mind, the Clay Mask and the Crimson Gloves. The mask will actually replace the Storm Ring, as it grants the same effect. Sadly, it doesn't stack with the ring, but at least obtaining it will free up another ring slot. The Crimson Gloves are a lot less intricate, giving us a +3 to magic, but a boost is a boost. Now for the fun stuff. Bring up that spell list. As you can see, there's a pretty solid number of incantations that we can pull from. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's just remove a few that won't help us during this run. Already, we have significantly better options than we usually have. Let's rearrange this in a way that makes sense for the run. As you can see, we'll be limited at first to Wildfire as far as damage goes. I've never really used incantations before, so I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. All I know is that it does damage. As we progress through the game, I'll continue to level up, making sure that we can use all the spells that we find as we go. That way, we have plenty of options for every situation. That all said, it's time for my favorite part of every run, the hidden mechanics. Did you know? Spells and incantations are actually directly affected by your carry weight. Yeah, it's true. It's not insignificant either. If you can run around with 0% carry weight, you reduce the cost of all of your magic by 80%. That's huge. Obviously, this means that I'll be equipping as little as possible, and I might even throw a few points into endurance to keep things nice and low. Now, some of you might be saying that you already knew that, and a couple others of you were probably typing something up about how the inverse is true for miracles. And yes, the miracle-only run is going to be chunky. But I'm gonna guess that you didn't know that some of the incantations are a little broken. According to the boys down in research and development, there are two incantations that don't scale as intended, Lightning Storm and Dark Swarm. These two incantations scale with your magic stat, which is normal, but they also scale with your weapon's base damage. This means that every time you cast Lightning Storm while holding a weapon, the damage your weapon is capable of is stacked onto your magic damage. Now that's some numbers. Needless to say, I'm going to take full advantage of this. When we finally get our hands on those incantations, I'm hoping to be running around with an Obsidian Pillar. With 76 base damage at +0 alone, my spell damage should be through the roof. The only downside to all this is that I'll have to invest in the Warhammer portion of the tree, which will give me a bunch of useless levels. The price we pay for greatness, I suppose. Oh, and before I forget, as far as creeds go, we're going to join the Order of Betrayers so we can collect Dark Swarm, then immediately leave them to the Keepers of Fire and Sky. Golden Wine doesn't boost magic damage, so the next best thing is Sky Crystal. Why do I feel like we're just swapping out one addiction for another? And that's it. Let's get this run started, shall we? Starting off, we give ourselves an appropriate name, I think, and pick the mage class to start. why we picked the mage class should be obvious. If not, I think I have some coloring books over here, and we can just give you those too. Before we get moving, I'm just going to change my controls so that there's no longer an attack or strong attack button. This way I can't panic and attack on accident, and therefore nullify the entire run. Unfortunately, due to not having an actual incantation at the moment, we're going to have to skip the Unspeakable Deep. Don't worry, we'll be back for him. We pick the 3 as our creed, because it doesn't matter, and then we go to the first roadblock of the game. We don't have an incantation. This means we can't do damage, which means we can't progress. Or it would, if I wasn't a complete madman. First, we're going to collect all the items available in the Festering Banquet, and I mean all of them. Next, we're going to jump off this platform. Shake it off, buddy. A secret door later, and we've got ourselves a stone mage. Nice. After collecting all the salt bags you can find before the Queen of Smiles, you can actually level up just enough to get you to tier 2 spells, which means that Wildfire is within our capabilities now. All we need to do now is summon our mage and 5,000 gold. In this economy? Well, unfortunately, even after selling almost everything we've found so far, we're still only about halfway there. And we still can't do any damage either. But lest you forget, I'm a madman! We've got several avenues of gold grinding at our disposal. First, we have the traps that can be found all over the Village of Smiles. Not only will this help us gain a few levels, but it also nets us a few coins each time they kill an enemy. There's also the birds around the Festering Banquet, who occasionally drop a few coins here and there whenever you spook them. As for me, I've found that the best method is to enlist the help of the local undead moving service. Hey, thanks for coming. I need help moving all this furniture into my new apartment over at Siam Lake, so if you can just grab that one there and put it on the ferry, Hey! What the hell, man? Oh, look, there's gold in there. One entire eternity later, and we've got our 5,000 gold. After begrudgingly paying the man, we can finally cast a spell and do damage ourselves. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, this feels good. Everything in this area dies in one hit. That's incredible. Where have these spells been all my life? Grinding with Wildfire is so easy too. Look at this range. It's the entire screen. As to be expected, with our new tool in hand, the Sodden Knight goes down pretty quick. That's some great damage too. At higher levels, this could probably one-shot him. I think the only issue we're going to have this run is timing. It takes a while to cast Incantations, so we'll need to know the boss patterns pretty well to make sure that we're attacking at the right moments. Pushing forward, we collect a good portion of our build and move on to the Queen of Smiles. She's not bad, especially with our new rings. Focus use will be important to keep an eye on, but I think we'll be alright, especially if I make sure to collect mana potions every once in a while as we level up. So, something I hadn't considered about Wildfire. It has the ability to stun enemies. Look at this. The alchemist can barely get a move off if I have the stamina to cast. That's just crazy to me. We grab another ring for our build, then head over to the Cyclops. He's not so bad, so long as you time your attacks right after you roll behind him. Wildfire's reach is long enough that you won't have to measure your distance, and you should have plenty of time to get out of the way of his next attack. It even stuns him from time to time. The False Jester is a bit harder, due to him being faster. There's still plenty of moves that give you the opportunity to hit him safely though. Patience and dodging net you a victory pretty quick. Before pushing forward, we're going to grab this Storm Ring. Using it right now would be suicide, but once we have Lightning Storm to balance it out, I don't think anything's going to be able to kill it.
Wait, stop! No, stop, dog! Damn it!
Before we get to the worm, we might as well grind out some Armor Guardian Ashes since we're already here. It'll give us some extra salt to keep our magic nice and hefty, and we only need 2. One for the Obsidian Pillar, and one for the Keepers of Fire and Sky. The grind itself isn't all that bad either. We can grind it out pretty safely from up on this ledge. It just takes time. Alright, worm time. Let's see if we can fight fire with fire. Oh my god. Oh, the poor bastard. Look at this. It stun locks him. What is this run? Swinging down to the Red Hall, we pick up Lightning Storm and equip our Storm Ring. Our incantations definitely do decent damage now, and Lightning Storm is an upgrade to Wildfire as well. As a test, let's see what adding a weapon does to our damage. Whoa-ho-ho! Hefty, hefty. Wimpy, wimpy. If that's the jump we get from 14 base damage, I can't wait to see what happens when we finally use our Warhammer. Skipping along, I decide to grind out Clay Phantoms for their mask or their ashes, whichever they decide to drop first. Turns out it was the mask. Nice, saves me a step. I'm sorry, can we take a minute? Look at this damage. I've never had such an easy time grinding, this is insane. Okay, sorry, done gushing. We grab the Flame Orbiter's incantation in case we need that little bit of protection it offers, and move on to the Tree of Men. I think it just took 2 casts to kill all his minions. I'm out of words. The next part, though, is what I'm worried about. The tree's head is out in the open air, and with the way my go-to incantations work, they probably can't reach it. It takes a little testing, but there's actually 2 animations that'll give me a chance to hit him with Lightning Storm. This one, and this one. We can even get multiple casts sometimes, which really speeds things up in the last quarter of the fight. All we have to do is keep our timing right and stay aware of the flamethrowers. And there you go. First try. On to Haggers. Ugh. Well, we might as well see what Lightning Storm does against—
Holy shit, it catches them on warp animations.
What are you?
Hey, Tony, isn't that guy that...
Get out of here, you. I've got stuff to kill.
The lepers are nothing. The bugs are nothing. Everything is nothing. God, this feels so good. I can't take it!
The stench goes down without much of a fight. His minions don't even last more than 2 casts, and our spells are doing so much damage that it's almost trivial. Cool end shot, too. We go back through Haggers to collect the Flame Guardian incantation, and move on to the dome. Oh, hey, we actually have enough salt to level up to Light Armor 1. I can finally equip my mask and gloves. I'm beautiful. Okay, I need to say it again. Can we just appreciate how easy it is to grind this time around? No, really, look at this.
Look at it.
Well, the Inquisitor is easy. He gives plenty of time between all of his attacks, and with the range of our spells, we can stay mostly out of harm's way. We can even pick up the Rowan Crozier for a little extra boost to our damage. Good stuff. The Lamb, however, is a different story. Thankfully, our build is pretty beefy, but if we had any less damage or any fewer mana potions, we'd have run out of focus by now. The fight itself isn't overly hard, especially if you know when to expect his lightning attacks, but the fact that I almost ran out of focus is a bit alarming. With all that done, we have enough salt to unlock Warhammer 1. I can't wait to do some more Huh. That's weird. Looks like the damage is actually less than my Rowan. By 3 points. Doesn't make any sense. The Rowan only has 16 base damage while the Warhammer is 48. Is it taking scaling into account? The boys in R&D said that wasn't the case, but that's the only explanation I can think of. If scaling is actually being considered, it would be easier to stick to a staff, since I'm already closing in on maxing out my magic stat anyway. Looking through the list of staves? Staves?
Staves.
Oh, okay. In any case, now that we've learned something new today, it looks like the Purgatory Staff is our best bet. Its maximum damage is only 7 points less than Sarah's staff, which would take far longer to get anyway, and it has better base damage stats as well, so if it does turn out that base damage is still part of the equation, it's still better than most of the damage I can get my hands on. We'll just have to keep an eye on this. I'm sure my poor lizard brain will figure it out eventually. Moving forward to the Ziggurat, we might as well collect a rib while we're here. Grinding out the liches is easy enough. I wouldn't be surprised if this only takes— and I can't reach that. Well, we better go get the double jump then. You know, I wonder if our spells can hit him before we even enter the boss room. Guess not. Worth a shot. Huh. I wouldn't have pegged the Dried King as a roadblock for this challenge, but he's actually pretty resistant to our damage. Hitting him is no issue at least, and if we slow down a bit, we can take him out pretty easily. Patience was my problem, nothing more. It's a good thing I have all these mana potions. Alright, time for my reward. Let's see what we got up here. Garbage, garbage, and garbage. Great. Thankfully, it only took 3 more runs before we got a rib, and the liches go down in 2 casts. It'd probably take even less time if I wore item find gear, but with my willpower stat being higher than normal, there's really no point. Ah, the Prince, my favorite damage sponge. Well, in past runs anyway. This time around, he's little more than dodge practice. On the way to the Ruined Temple, I make sure to grab Lightning Pod, which should help increase our DPS, alongside our Flame Guardian, which I have yet to remember to use. I also grab a free Diamond Cluster, and follow that up by grinding out the 30,000 salt we need to transmute my Purgatory Staff. Between this, my Rowan Crozier, and the Warhammer, I think we can finally settle the debate. The damage is, in fact, increasing based on the total scaled damage. With that in mind, R&D was somewhat correct. Obsidian Pillar will do more damage than any staff.
They just conveniently left out the part where we need at least 34 strength to do it!
Now, could we do it? Oh yes, absolutely. Especially with how easy the grinding has been this run. But for the sake of getting this video out nice and quick, let's drop that idea for now and just stick with our staff. It's lighter anyway, and that'll keep our focus cost down. Moving ahead, I upgrade the staff to +4, take a shortcut to the Pitchwoods, grab some Lord's Orders, and kill Karstral while I'm down here. You know, I'm kinda liking having summons. It makes the journey less lonely. Back at the temple, I grab the King's Orders hiding towards the top and upgrade my staff to its maximum potential. With that, the build is pretty much complete. A few more stops and we can cruise to the end. I visit our friend here for some stained pages, then run on over to Devara's Sanctuary to tell them how I really feel. Now I just need this guy to kill me. I said kill me. Come on. Is there a manager I could talk to? I'd like to die sometime this week. Hi, yes, your staff here wasn't really able to— ah, there we go. That's much better, thank you.
Lemon? Lemon? Lemon, what are you doing? Should I call the police?
Huh? Oh, right, sorry. Just had a bit of trauma surface for a hot minute there.
Are you alright?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Just let me shove that deep deck down inside myself. I'll be okay. Let's go make some new friends. They seem nice. Oh, what a lovely home you have. Ah, Dark Swarm, now we're talking. Let me just rest here and... Alright, nope, this creed is too angsty for me. Let's go find our real brethren. Ah, my boys. What's cooking? Oh, you're making crystal. Am I affiliated now? Should I be concerned? Moving on to Cran, we get our first taste of our finished build. I think we accidentally built easy mode. Even without using my Sky Crystal, we can no-hit Cran. Between our DPS, our knockback, and our newfound summon friends, he falls apart like wet paper. The only potential weak point in our build is that we're using blood magic spells, which gives us a hefty debuff. If something manages to hit me, we're going to take a lot of damage. They'd have to hit me though. Maul barely gets off an attack before she goes down. The Coveted is no different. The only hiccup in the entire fight is that my summons don't know if they should attack the axe or the ghosts. I give them a little help. Jesus, finishing this run is just a formality at this point, isn't it? I think these orbs look better on me anyway. 2v1, huh? How about 2v12? 3v1, huh? How about... Wait, we just did that, Joe.
Carl!
Huh. That's interesting. Turns out, with the Nameless God's insane defenses, he can actually hold his own against us. Or at least he would if I wasn't stun-locking him. Out of desperation, he tries to summon his own little friends, but mine are better. And with that, we've reached the end of the run. There's nothing else to do. I've killed everything.
Hey, Lemon, what are you doing?
Oh. Hello, Carl.
What are you waiting for?
I'm not done.
There's nothing else to do, Lemon. Just let it go. It's over.
No, it's not. You thought you were safe. You thought that you had seen the last of me. But you made one mistake. You didn't kill me. Now, I am all powerful. The laws of physics do not apply to me. The very fabric of reality does not apply to me. You didn't think you would see me again. You thought you were safe. You thought wrong.
Ugh, my head. Was that a dream? No more of you before bed. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again to Hesiolite for suggesting that run. Turned out to be a lot of fun. If you've got an idea for a future challenge run, make sure to leave it in the comments down below. I love seeing what crazy ideas everyone can come up with. Also, if you're new here and like what you saw, why not subscribe to the channel? It's free, I promise. And if you're feeling incredibly kind, why not click that like button? I'm not sure what it does, but I'm sure it's helping the channel in some way, shape, or form. Thanks again for stopping by. Until next time, stay safe out there, everyone.